Okay, today we're going to look at fractions again, addition and subtraction this time. You've got to remember some rules, you've got to remember some basic points. Not very difficult if you get the hang of it and just remember what you need to know. Addition and subtraction fractions. Now, if we have 4 ninths and we add them to 3 ninths, fairly straightforward. We're talking about the same type of terms. We're talking about ninths. So we've got 4 lots of ninths, we're adding them to 3 lots of ninths. So overall, that's going to give us 7 lots of ninths. Yeah, 7 ninths. Makes sense, hopefully. Similarly, we've got 3 twelfths and we add them to 5 twelfths. How much have we got? Like terms, 3 lots added to 5 lots means we've got 8 lots of twelfths. Have a look at that. Work you've already done on fractions. Is there something we can do to simplify that? Yeah, we can. And again, I'll say to you, a lot of the time they'll ask for the answer in the simplest forms. You've got to be aware of this. 8 twelfths, what goes into 8 and what goes into 12? 4 goes into both of those numbers. 4 goes into 8 2 times, 4 goes into 12 3 times. So in its simplest form, the answer is 2/3. But these 2 examples are adding like terms. Next step up, 5/6 added to 3/4. They're not like terms. Okay? They can't just be added straight together. They're not the same type of term. They're not the same type of fraction. So what have we got to do? We've got to look for our lowest common multiple. What's the smallest number that both 6 and 4 will go into? What's the smallest number, the lowest common multiple that both of those numbers will go into? It's 12. Okay? So, we make both of these fractions into twelfths. So, what have I done to that 6 to make it into 12? I've multiplied it by 2. As long as I multiply the top by the same number, it doesn't change the value. So 5/6 becomes 10 twelfths. Okay? What have I done to the 4 to make it into 12? I've multiplied it by 3. So as long as I multiply the top by the same number by 3, doesn't change the value of that fraction. 3 times 3 is 9. So I've now got 10 twelfths added to 9 twelfths. We've got like terms, so we can add those together. 10 added to 9 gives me 19 twelfths. Can we simplify that? Yes, we can. 12 goes into 19 one whole time, and it still leaves me with 7 twelfths, which I can't then simplify anymore. Okay? So we've done everything we can here, and this is the key. Sixths and quarters. Can't add them directly together straight away without doing anything with them. What's the lowest common multiple? The lowest number that 6 and 4 go into is 12, so we convert them both into twelfths. What do I do to the 6 to get it up to 12? I multiply it by 2. Multiply the top by 2, gives me 10. What do I do to the 4 to make it into 12? I multiply it by 3. 3 multiplied by 3 gives me 9. I've now got twelfths. Like terms, I can add those together, and I'll put it in its simplest form as a mixed number there. Okay, subtraction, exactly the same process. Not the end of your lesson. Exactly the same process for subtraction. I can't take away quarters from 6, they're not like terms, so I have to convert them into the same type of units. Now we've already done the conversions in the previous example. What's the lowest common multiple of 6 and 4? It is 12. What have I done to 6 to make it into 12? I've multiplied it by 2. 2 multiplied by 5 gives me 10. What have I done to 4 to make it into 12? I've multiplied it by 3. 3 multiplied by 3 gives me 9. Have I got like terms? Yes, I have. I'm talking about twelfths. Got 10 lots of 12, 10 twelfths, take away 9 twelfths, leaves me with 1 12th. Can that be simplified? No, it can't. So that's it, that's the job done. That's as much as we can do there. Same process. Okay, another example. Got 2 1/3 added to 3 5/7. Okay? Alright? Let's do a similar process to what we were doing with multiplication and division. Let's make them into top-heavy fractions. So 2 1/3, 3 times 2 is 6, add the one we already had, so we've got 7/3, added to 3 whole ones, 7 times 3 is 21, add the 5, 26/7. Okay, we can't add thirds and sevenths together. What is the lowest common multiple of 3 and 7? It's 21. So we convert both of the fractions into 21sts. What have I done to 3 to make it into 21? I've multiplied it by 7. Multiply the top by 7, 49. 7 times 7 is 49. What have I done to that 3 to make it into 21? I've multiplied it by 7. Must multiply the top by 7. 7 times 7 is 49. What have I done to the 7 to make it into 21? I've multiplied it by 3. 3 lots of 26. 3 lots of 26 is 78. Okay? Now I've got 49 21st, add to 78 21st. Big number, don't be scared of the big numbers. Please don't be scared of the big numbers. 49 and 78. So that's 127/21. 21 goes into 127 6 whole times with 1 21st left. Okay? So there's my process. I've converted the mixed numbers into top-heavy fractions. I've looked for what is my common denominator, lowest common multiple. So 21 and 21. What have I done to make that 21? I've multiplied it by 7, so I've got to do the same for the top. What have I done to make that into 21? I've multiplied it by 3, so I've got to do the same for the top. Add those like terms together, get 127/21. Simplify it, gives me 6 and 1/21st. Okay, that is the process. So, another example. 3 1/4, take away 1 3/5. Let's make them into top-heavy fractions. 3 whole ones, 4 times 3 is 12, so I've got 13 quarters. 1 whole one, 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 3, 8/5. So that's my calculation to do. They're not like terms. What's the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5? It is 20. So I want to make those into 20ths. What have I done to make 4 into 20? I've multiplied it by 5. Okay? 5 times 4 gives me 20. 5 times 13 gives me 65. What have I done to the 5 to make it into 20? I've multiplied it by 4. 4 times 8 gives me 32. 33/20. Yeah, I can simplify that a little bit. top heavy fraction, 1 whole 1 and 13 twentieths. Can I simplify that anymore? No, I can't. So there's another example. A few examples for you to have a go at. So please have a go at those examples. Come back and I'll work through them. Okay? So you've got 3 to begin with, a couple to progress with, and then a little bit more of a challenge. Okay? Okay, let's have a quick look at these. 1/3 added to 1/5. What do we want to do? We want to make those into 15ths. What have I done to 3 to make it into 15? Multiplied it by 5. What have I done to 5 to make it into 15? I've multiplied it by 3. So my answer is 8/15. Can it be simplified? No, it can't. 1/3 added to 1/4. 1/3 added to 1/4. Lowest common multiple is 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Multiply the top by 4. 4. Multiplied by 3 makes 12. Multiply the top by 3. 7 twelfths. 5th, take away a 10th. That should have given you an answer of 1/10. Okay? 2/3 added to 1/4. Should give you 11/12. 5/6 take away 3/4. Okay, let's have a little bit of a think about that one. 6 and 4, lowest common multiple is going to be 12. 6 multiplied by 2 gives me 12, so that's 10 on the top, because 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. 4 multiplied by 3 gives me 12, so 3 times 3 is 9, so that gives me 1/12 as the answer. The final example I'm going to do, and some of you may have been taught the butterfly method, and the reason I haven't been using the butterfly method is to make sure that you understand how to do these calculations properly. And the problem with the butterfly method is the butterfly method wouldn't work with this calculation here. So I'll just do this as an example to you, and then we'll finish this presentation. What is the lowest common multiple of 12, 8 and 6? It's going to be 24. Okay? So it's 24, and 24, and 24. Okay? What have I done to 12 to make it up to 24? I've multiplied it by 2. 2 times 7 is 14. What have I done to 8 to make it up to 24? I've multiplied it by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. What have I done to 6 to make it up to 24? I've multiplied it by 4. 5 multiplied by 4 gives me 20. Now I've got them all as 24ths. They're all like terms. Can I add those together? Yes, I can. What does that make me? 23, 43. 43 24ths. Just check that, make sure I'm right. So 23, yeah, that looks good to me. So I've got 1 whole 1. And what's that? It's 19 24ths. Yeah, that looks good to me. Okay, can I simplify that anymore? No, I can't, so that's my solution. And that's the problem with the butterfly method. The butterfly method won't cope with three different fractions there. And I prefer you to understand the first principles of addition and subtraction, which is why I've gone through with the examples that have been in this presentation following the method that I've done. Hopefully that's helpful to you. Hopefully it will help you with the examples that you're going to be facing now. So thank you very much for your attention. Good luck.